Muchas gracias, Mark. Y muy buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están? Sí hablan español, ¿verdad? Sí se habla español. La sostenibilidad también se puede hablar en español. Good afternoon, everyone. We just did your Spanish lesson of the day. So you can tell Duolingo that you're done. You don't need any more notifications. But it's always great to be back in this beautiful summit. I don't know about you, but it feels like I had the equivalent of 3 Zoom meetings in about 20 minutes conversation over lunch. We had a little reunion with people who have been coming to this summit for the last 10 years, but we haven't seen each other in some years. And I also made new connections. So I hope that you are taking great advantage of this summit. And if I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, my name is Mario Garcia Sierra. I've been in this community for the last 20 years, and the last 11 years I've been working at Madison Gas and Electric, so your community energy company. So if you are in this area, we are a utility company. And I'm here with the team, the residential and community services team, and a few others from the business area. But we are here to engage and to find opportunities to collaborate with you all. My team is all about finding new ways how do we engage customers throughout Madison on topics of energy. And we have a model where we partner with community-based organizations, many formal and informal groups, and I'm proud to say that Sustain Dane, it's a partner, and it's been a partner for many years. So if you don't know much about us, you can meet us back in our little table in the back. But the next portion of the agenda is the Live Forward Awards. And it's quite an honor for me to be here with you presenting this next portion because the Live Forward Awards, they acknowledge dedicated change makers and leaders who promote thriving sustainability, community healing, and resiliency. So just think about that. Thriving sustainability, community healing, and resiliency. And I can tell you that I have had the pleasure to witness and interact with this great group of people and the organizations that they work for. And I'm really proud of the work that they do in this community, from conversations, from talking about food, from building, and a lot way more, just making a Madison a better community. So I would like to tell you more about them, but I'm just gonna share a video that celebrates all the nominees, and after that, we're gonna have a chance to have a conversation with them. Cross your fingers.
right. Live Forward Awards. Let's see, go fast. There we go. All right. Well, I probably should be showing Ben's face. There we go. Thank you, Mario, thank you, team, for the great video. Congratulations to everyone who was nominated for the Live Forward Awards. I really do enjoy this piece of the summit and celebrating the people in our local community. The LFA nominees are submitted from the public, and then the awardees are selected by a committee of the previous LFA winners, as well as the Sustain Dane board members. We have 3 winners this year, as you saw. I'm going to read a brief bio of each of them, and then they're going to come on stage, receive their award, and I just have a couple questions I'm going to ask them so that they can share their perspectives with you guys as the audience. For the 3rd time, I would like to show you award winner, Ben Austin, yay! Ben is the sustainability lead at Findorf & Sons, a commercial general contractor headquartered in Madison, Wisconsin. In his role, he works across Findorf projects with owners, design teams, and construction partners to define and deliver on project sustainability goals. He also leads the efforts internally to drive sustainability with Findorf-owned buildings and their own culture. Ben has degrees in civil engineering and sustainability leadership, in addition to being a lead and a well-certified, well-accredited professional. In October of last year, October 2022, he co-founded the Carbon Leadership Forum Hub of Wisconsin, known as CLF. And the mission of CLF is to eliminate embodied carbon in buildings and infrastructure by inspiring innovation through collective action to create a just and thriving future. The CLF Wisconsin Hub brings these conversations to Wisconsin and provides education and workshops for practitioners to deepen their impact. Come on up, Ben.
Where do you want me?
You can stand close to the podium. We'll go back and forth. I think some mics maybe walked off the stage. All right, so Ben, a question for you.
Okay.
Could you tell us about how you get other people excited in the construction industry to act more sustainably?
Yeah, and preface, we did get these questions earlier. I think the word earlier was inspire, which I think perturbs me to my core. I think going into conversations trying to inspire people probably isn't the right approach. Hearkening back to Diamond's conversations earlier, I think it's really listening to where people are at, meeting them at that place, and then leveraging your knowledge base and expertise to try to hopefully advance them on their journey in sustainability, right? So I think that's a super important part of it. I work in the construction industry, so construction projects are fun and challenging, right? You're bringing building owners, facility managers, contractors, architects, engineers, community members, building code officials, utility companies. You're bringing all these people to the table, and somehow you end up with a fully functional building at the end of it, which is still pretty unbelievable. But what I can say is that, I think the climate-friendly version of that process isn't fundamentally different from the way we've always done it. I think people can easily default and just kind of let the train go on the tracks. So I would encourage folks who are in that process to think about, like, I've seen time and time again these little intervention points, a simple conversation or a pairing of a resource to a project that can kind of fundamentally change where that project ends up. So I don't think it needs to be complicated, is the message.
All right, can you please share what are some of the emerging practices or technologies to reduce embodied carbon?
So embodied carbon, how many people know what embodied carbon is? Oh, heck yeah. So when we talk about buildings, there's 2 sides of the coin. There's operational carbon, the things we think about, all the energy we use in our buildings. And then there's the embodied carbon side, which is all the carbon emissions associated with the materials we use. So steel, concrete, insulation, glass, all of those things. If you look at like a simple building, say a elementary school, and you look at the carbon emissions over the first 30 years of that building, about half of it could be operational and half of it could be embodied. I think the awareness into the scale of that carbon emission impact is not that well known. So this Carbon Leadership Forum that I've been very happy to be a co-lead of is trying to educate the market about the terminology and the opportunity for impact. The reality is there aren't a lot of great case studies in Wisconsin. So again, if you're involved in projects, bring up embodied carbon, engage your construction and design professionals, and just have a conversation around what you can do. There are cost-neutral alternatives out there for concrete, for instance, that can have a huge impact on your building without much cost.
And then my last question is your call to action for the people with us today.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about buildings again, which is no surprise. The few numbers that stick in my head that kind of drive me in my work, 40% of global carbon emissions are tied up in buildings. That's the operational and the materials we use. I think if you look at global new construction over the next 30 years, it's the equivalent of building an entire new New York City every month, right? So that's kind of like the scale. We need to like jump on that now. And then the other piece is that 2/3 of the building that are out there in the world will still be here in 2040. So like they're sitting there waiting for us to take action on them. So for me, I think the call to action is really engage, be curious, ask questions. If you have any way that you are involved in a building project, maybe you own your home and you have the opportunity to make an impact there. Maybe you're a volunteer on a building committee for a local organization. Maybe you're a decision maker in your organization or part of a green team. Like there's so many good resources around us. A couple that I'll draw on, Sustain Dane. I mean, Claire and team give a extremely impressive service to our local community. In 2018, we were part of the Empower Business Champions program, which really kickstarted our sustainability efforts at Findorf. I got to give a shout out to Kathy Kuntz in the Office of Energy and Climate Change. I call her probably 3 times a week with questions on the Inflation Reduction Act as we're trying to leverage those financial tools. And then I took one of these and I told Jessica Price, engage with the City of Madison Sustainability Plan. They're taking survey responses now. So I would say engage. There's been no better time in history, and this came in our table discussion earlier, there's been no better time in history to leverage opportunities for clean energy, geothermal heat pumps, electric vehicles. The finances make more sense than they ever have. So ask the questions. If you looked at it 10 years ago, it didn't make sense. It probably makes a lot more sense today. So just engage.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Take your awards.
Oh, yeah.
You just wait at the table.
All right, our second winner is a co-winner. Here we go. Ruth Ann Hutan Opalaki, please correct me on that when you come up, and Cooper Talbot. Ruth Ann graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Biomedical Science from the University of Wisconsin River Falls following the successful completion of her undergraduate studies. She embarked on a dedicated service journey with the Peace Corps, where she served as an agricultural extension agent for over 2 years. Throughout her career, Ruth Anna has gained extensive experience in diverse labs, agricultural, and animal care settings, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to the field of science and agriculture. In her current role as Agricultural Program Manager at Urban Triage, she manages all of their agricultural program. Her co-winner, Cooper, hails from New Jersey and has been an eminent part of the Madison community for 10 years as Madison's favorite local radio personality. Her heart is based on community service and results-oriented motivation. She joined Urban Triage in 2022 as the bilingual rental support and outreach specialist. She has since transitioned to a new agricultural opportunity in Michigan. At Urban Triage, Rihanna and Cooper have led the agricultural team. They head the Supporting Healthy Black Agricultural Work Group that leads a cohort of individuals and families through a 12-week program. The program introduces participants to concepts of gardening, healthy living, and teaches them about the post-traumatic slave syndrome in order to heal the relationship to the earth. Ruth Ann and Cooper are committed to teaching agricultural practices to primarily Black folks and families, enthusiastically willing to answer questions, and provide a space for community to learn and heal together. Congratulations, Ruth Ann. And how do I pronounce your last name?
Hudson Opalaki.
Beautiful. All right. So we have a couple questions for you. All right. How do food systems and the work you're doing impact the community you serve?
Yeah, I think one of the pieces we touched on today is that we really should be engaging the communities that we're in and the work that we're doing, and really basing our work from their needs and what they want to see their community to look like. And that is a priority of Urban Triage. Everything we do, every program we run is based off of an ask from our community. So In regards to our agriculture, it was health. So our community needed culturally appropriate food, they needed access to fresh, healthy food, and they needed and wanted the knowledge of how to do that themselves. So that birthed the program we have today that I'm very honored to participate in with a really wonderful team. And it really is just listening to them every day and doing our best to give them access to those things that they need.
So we're entering winter right now, but I imagine you might already be thinking about spring. Can you share a little bit about kind of what you're looking forward to in the next agricultural season coming up?
Oh, so much. I think for many people, whether you garden or have ever farmed, this time of year, downtime is not really downtime. So the second things cool down and you're out of being outside, you're inside prepping for the next season. So there is so much we're working to expand our programming into. So in the next couple of years, we're really hoping to build a model for BIPOC individuals who are either just learning how to grow their own food or interested in making a career out of farming, and giving them a model of how they can do that and also sustain themselves. So sustainability being the theme here today, we don't want them to just, be growing their own food, but being able to do that and survive, feed their families and also their community in a functional way. So as we expand, we hope to offer more business-focused class, which we've already started on business models and starting your own agricultural business. So our hope is that we'll have a few farmers within the next couple of years that we can show these other younger BIPOC farmers that, hey, I can do this. And if anything, the ones coming through now, they get to be their own reference point for what could be.
All right, and the last question is, what is your vision for community well-being in 3 to 5 years from now?
Okay, I think I jumped into that one a little bit right there, but in a continuation of that, it is continuing to work with everybody here. I think what I really see in the sustainability of our work and everybody else's work here is that we need to work together. So partnering with each other. So please reach out to me. I have met and seen so many people, and so many that I haven't had a chance to talk to today who I will be reaching out to, because I think we all understand that we can't reach any of our sustainability goals alone, and that we need each other to get where we all need to be. So in the future, we'll be working together, hopefully, and making things more accessible for the BIPOC community, because there tends to be underrepresentation in a lot of our fields of BIPOC individuals because of accessibility. So as we strive to make things more accessible, we'll be working together more. So that is the future I hope to see.
All right. Congratulations again. And our third winner today is Christina Carvajal. Christina is is a passionate local advocate for environmental justice and equity. She's the founder and executive director of Wisconsin Eco Latinas, the local nonprofit organization working to empower the Latino community and minorities to take action against environmental hazards affecting our community and climate change action. Christina worked with the Latino Academy of Workforce Development in the Bilingual Leadership Program on recycling and air quality awareness, monitoring and outreach, teaching the importance of safe air quality levels. She also helped install and read 7 purple air monitors in Madison and Fitchburg. She led the Wisconsin Eco Latinos on its first bilingual environmental conservation fair at Warner Park to celebrate Earth Day, and the Latino Conservation Week celebration to promote the inclusion of Latinos in outdoor spaces and sports. She also worked on a research project about climate change action and adaptation with the UW-Madison. Congratulations, Christina.
Thank you.
All right, Christina, could you please share how do you see the intersection of sustainability and equity in your work?
Thank you so much. So one essential part of our mission is to advocate for environmental justice and to bring awareness of the impact of pollution on disadvantaged communities. And when we promote sustainability and sustainable practices, we are reducing carbon emissions. That's our goal. And that's directly related to the impact. Reducing carbon emissions is going to improve the health of people. Because as we see, the pollution that brings carbon is affecting the health of our communities. So then the other part that we also work with, it's, let's say we promote energy efficiency. When we're promoting energy efficiency, we're also helping people reduce the energy burden. Because as you may, it's been documented that many disadvantaged communities end up paying more for energy than others. So as we promote energy efficiency, we're also helping them reduce their energy burden. And the other part also is advocating for the inclusion of our community and inclusion of minorities in the decision-making process on everything related to the environment, because we know that this is going to impact our health. Those are the things that we focus on.
All right, one of the projects that you work on is promoting the inclusion of Latinos in outdoor spaces and sports. What are some of your favorite outdoor spaces or sports?
I always tell people, all our natural resources is for everyone. These are ours, and we love. We're privileged in Wisconsin because we have so many natural resources, the state parks, the trails, and our organization is focused on making sure that our communities feel welcome in these spaces. That's why we promoted the Latino Conservation Week that was focused on making people learn, that so many people doesn't know that we have all these beautiful trails, and we associate, outdoor sports with improving mental health and physical health too.
All right, and then lastly, we had a very difficult summer with air quality. And you're working in a lot of really important areas. What gives you optimism as you're working and doing all this good impact and change making?
So I love working with the community, and I like to hear their stories. And when I see people, very often we work with people in that have limited resources. And when I see them that they have long hours, some of them, I work with this lady that she goes to work at 3 in.the morning, and she still has energy to commit to a class to learn about air quality. That makes me feel like I have the obligation and to give back to the community and help them learn about environmental, how to protect themselves, from environmental hazards. And it just, it gives me hope that we can all find solutions for climate change,
Thank you, Christina. Right. Congratulations to all of the Live Forward awardees. If you guys please will remain at the table for photos after we're done with the summit. We are at the closing of our day together. So I would like to thank you one more time for spending your day with us at the summit. I also would like to appreciate again the partners and the members and the sponsors who made the summit possible and the work throughout the year possible. Thank you all who have come together. Through the art raffle and through other generous donations, we have raised about $800. And Spencer, if you want to bring up the raffle container, I will pull out one of the tickets. It's very full. All right, and the winner is Sandy Zhang. Sandy, are you here still? There she is. Congratulations, Sandy. We'll coordinate with you afterwards. Feedback forms. On the table are feedback forms. If you can please take a moment to fill them out. You can leave them on the table for us to collect. We'd greatly appreciate it. And there's additional forms by the registration table. We also request at the registration table if you could please leave your name tags so that we can reuse them. All right, in closing, I hope that today you have learned something new. I hope that you've connected with a long-term or an emerging friend and a colleague, and that you've committed an action. You committed to taking an action for a sustainable future. Please share with others about your time here. Share what you've learned and reflected on at the Sustain Dane Summit. Bring this to a team meeting at your work organization. Talk with a neighbor. And reach out to someone that you've met today to strengthen that collaboration and continue that collaboration. Together, we're going to continue to inspire, connect, and support people to accelerate equity and sustainable actions for community well-being, and change happens when inspired people take action. So I look forward to seeing you all at the 2024 programs and the 2024 summit. Please have a nice rest of your day and weekend ahead. Bye.